Hello everyone, my name is Linda, English teacher from Youth English School. Today the lesson is about the adjective. Why sometimes the English people can say very good, but they don't say absolutely good. But why can they say absolutely marvelous or terrific, but they don't say very marvelous or very terrific? Okay, let's find out from this lesson. In English, the adjective can be clarified as the scale adjective and the limit adjective. So what are the scale and what are the limit adjective? We have the scale adjective can be anything from good or bad. It can be something weak or strong. Like we have bad and good. And of course in the middle we have okay, in the middle. We have the limit adjective. For example, from bad we can have more than bad is terrible, awful or dreadful. From good, we can have the limit adjective can be marvelous, terrific, or great. So we can have the limit adjective are more extreme than the scale adjective. And to use the word before the scale adjective to show the level or how much the adjective shows, we can have quite good, it's alright. We have good, okay. More than quite good, and with them better than good, we have very good. For the scales and the limit adjective, we can have the adverbs before them to show, the level. We can have very small, but we don't say very tiny. Tiny is the limit adjective of small, so it's even, smaller than more small. We can use the adverb absolutely to show, how extreme it is. We have big, you can say something is very big, but more than that, limit adjective of big can be huge or enormous. Now we have tired, I'm very tired, but you don't say very exhausted because exhausted is the extreme form of tired. We have interesting, and then we have the limit adjective of interesting is fascinating. So fascinating is more than interesting. You can say something is very interesting, but you can't say something is very fascinating because it's a limit adjective. For the word surprise, something happened certainly, or something that happened and you don't know, and then, you kind of took you by surprise. You have the limit adjective of surprise is astonished. Now, you can say very with the scale adjective. You can say absolutely with the limit adjective, but you can't do, the other way around. However, there is the word really that you can use for both scale and the limit adjective. You can say really big or really huge. Both are the same. Are the examples of the scales and the limit adjective? You can have pleased and you can have delighted about something. Remember what this one is delighted, okay? For cold, we can have the word freezing. For example, today is really freezing outside. Nice, to describe the food, you can have delicious. Frightened is a scale adjective, and then for the limit adjective, you have terrified, so it means, more than just frightened or scared. We have hungry for the scale adjective, but for the limit adjective, you have starving. And remember, this word is kind of informal, normally used in spoken English. A very important part of adjective that I want you to remember today is the adjective ending with ing or ed. With the adjective, the ending with ing, it means that it describes a person, a thing, or situation, like interesting, fascinating, boring. Okay. With the adjective ending with ed, it means it describes the effect of something on a person, on an object or situation. For example, tired, I'm scared. Now, we have this example. It was such a boring party. Most people left before 11 p.m. They were so bored. So we have the adjective boring to describe the party, how the party was, but then you have they were so bored. So bored is a feeling of the people who were at the party because it was boring, so they were bored. So the effect of that boring party on people is bored, okay? So that's totally different way of describing. We have other examples of using the limit and the scale adjective. John isn't very good a friend. Oh well, yeah, me neither. So I was quite surprised when he passed the exam, and I was absolutely astonished at his results. He got 98%. We have the word surprised is the scale adjective, and then we have astonished is the limit adjective. And you can see that we can use quite before the scale adjective and absolutely before the limit adjective. Another example, I thought it was very exciting when I first got on a plane. Then we took off and flew into bad weather. I was terrified. We can see that the form of the adjective here is exciting, which means, getting on a plane is exciting. So it describes a situation. But we have the word terrified to describe the feeling of the person in this situation when the plane took off and flew into very bad weather. So that's a feeling of the situation on somebody. And that's why we use the adjective with ed at the end. We have some other instance. London has lots of streets with the same name is very confusing for tourists. Confusing means not very clear and you can't figure out what is what. So we have confusing ending with ing to show, the state of the situation or how the situation was. We have confused is the adjective of this, the form of the word confused, but with ending with ed to show the feeling. This example can be changed to the tourists are confused because of the streets in London. We also have Greg was very disappointed when they lost the match. Then the next day his girlfriend left him, so he's really depressed. We have the word depressed to show the feeling of people. We also have the adjective depressing is the ing form of the word depressed, it means very upset, very sad. And also we have disappointed with ed, the feeling of Greg, when they lost the match. We also have disappointing, okay? It's the ing form of the whole situation or describe certain thing. Another adjective that I want you to learn today is embarrassing. One of our teachers often forgets my name. It was funny at first, but now it's a bit embarrassing. Now, for embarrassing, you can have embarrassed. Remember for the word embarrassing or embarrassed, we always have two R and two S, okay? And the way you say it is embarrassed, okay? That's how you stress it, and embarrassing. So you can have the ing form of embarrassed and the ed form as well. Always remember how to write this one, two R's and two S. Let's move to the exercise. With the first exercise, I want you to look at all the adjectives that we have here. We have all the scale adjectives. I want you to put the limit form of these adjectives, the limit adjective here. All right, so I'll give you some time to do from number 2 to number 10. Okay, have you finished? I'll just check for you, just some examples because all the questions here, the answers are in the lectures and previous slides. So we have small scale adjective, and then the limit adjective of this one is tiny. What about tired? should be exhausted. Okay, for surprised can be astonished. Interesting can be fascinating. So for the other examples, you can find the answers from the lecture. Let's move to the next exercise. For the next exercise, we have the postcard where we have all the skill adjective. I want you to rewrite this postcard using the limit adjective where possible to give more, positive or more extreme effect of the postcard. You can make the changes if necessary, right? So read carefully this postcard and find the skill adjective first before you change it to the limit adjective, all right? Okay, are you all done? First, let's find all the skill adjective in this postcard. We have here the examples of tiring. Then we have pleased, big, nice. Let's see. Tired and interesting. Now, for pleased, you can have we're very delighted with the hotel. The room is big, so you can say the room is huge or enormous. The food is nice. Remember the limit adjective of nice for food is delicious. For tired, you can say exhausted. And for interesting, you can say fascinating or terrific. Okay. Move to the next exercise. Now, in this exercise, I want you to complete these dialogues using a suitable limit adjective in the correct form, so they can be at the end, ending with ing or ending with ed. For example, I was very interested in her talk. Yes, it was absolutely fascinating. So we have fascinating is the limit adjective of interested. So you can have the ed form of the adjective or the ing form of the adjective. Okay, I'll give you some time to do from sentence number 2 to number 6. Okay. Okay, are you all done? From number 2, you weren't frightened, were you? Yes, it was absolutely. Now, for frightened, what is the word that can describe this situation, but is more than just frightening? So we have terrifying. It was a surprising decision, isn't it? Yes, everyone was. Here, to describe the situation, you say surprising, but to describe the feeling of everyone, you can say astonished. Not astonishing, astonished, ending with ed to describe the feeling of people. Was the journey very tiring? Yes, I was exhausted. Because to describe the state of someone, the effect of the journey on somebody. So it should be exhausted. Are you hungry? Yes, I'm absolutely starving. Last one. I expect you were very pleased with your score. Yes, I was absolutely delighted. We have this adjective from the previous exercise. Let's move to another exercise. Here I have 5 situations. I want you to read the situations and think of an adjective from the lecture to describe the situation. First instance is, they walked 10 miles, then spent the afternoon cutting down trees. So that's lots of work. The work you can describe the situation is exhausted. Okay? So I'll give you some time to think of an adjective to describe the situation from number 2 to number 5. Okay, for this last exercise, the second situation is, from the description in the travel brochure, they expected a beautiful big villa by the sea. In actual fact, it was quite small, not very nice, and miles from the beach. So these people must be surprised or astonished. Or you can say disappointed. Yeah, it should be better with disappointed, because they expected something nice, but then something is not very nice happened. So I think it should be disappointed. Number 3, they wore jeans to the party, but when they arrived, everyone was wearing very formal clothes. Have you ever been in this situation? Well, I think in this situation, these people must feel very embarrassed. Remember the word embarrassed? 2 R's and 2 S. Number 4, one person told them the street was on the left, another told them to turn right, and a third person said they had to go back for the station. So in this case, it should be confused, because you don't know what to do, you don't know where to turn. The last one, my brother has a flat and is usually in a terrible mess. He's very untidy, but yesterday when I visited him, the place was incredibly tidy. I think in this case should be visited, because it happened yesterday. Sorry about that. In fact, everything looked new. For this situation, this person must be, astonished at his or her brother's flat. So you should be astonished. Okay, so that's the end of the lessons about adjective. Remember, there are 2 types of adjective. The skill adjective, it can be weak or strong, like good, bad. And we also have the limit adjective, for example, terrific, horrible, exhausted, such words. Also, there are 2 types of adjective, the type that describe a person, thing, or situation, ending with ing. And the second type, the adjective ending with ed, to describe the effect on people or things, or normally sometimes describe the feelings. So I want you to have a look at the whole lecture today and to read all the adjective again, make more examples, review the exercise as well to remember this adjective, because they're very important for you in English to describe how you feel. Okay? So this is Linda from Youth English School. Thank you.